Good morning guys, and welcome to, well, a bit of a different one. Welcome to the Shetland Islands up the north coast of Scotland. You ever seen a map of the UK? The Shetland Islands is a bit, it's always in the wee box up the top because we're that far north. Got here this morning, got the boat up from Aberdeen, and we're starting actually at the bottom. We're starting at Sunborough. I'll just pan the camera around and let you see here. So this is Sunborough Head. This is the bottommost part of the Shetland mainland. Got the North Sea there. So Norway that way. Pan round there. Cliffs. Spectacular scenery here. Great bird watching. Out there you can see all sorts. You get killer whales here. Minke whales, dolphins, seals. And over that way, that's the North Sea. That way you've got Fair Isle, then the Orkneys, then mainland Scotland. So we're going to go for a wee explore. We're going to go up and see the lighthouse here. We're going to start at the bottom and kind of work our way back towards Lerwick today. A few things to stop off and see on the way. Just at the sea cliffs here. You can see all the different seabirds there. There's some puffins down there. Like I said, you can see all sorts down here. You can see whales, dolphins, seals, but I'm not too sure if we'll catch anything today. I don't know if there's a certain time or a special time you need to come, but you can see the puffins anyway. I'll try and zoom in on one of them, just sort of sitting over there. And a couple of puffins just, I don't know if they're sleeping or they're just having a wee chill day. Puffins are sort of Shetland, apart from the Shetland pony, it's the animal that you associate with the island. There's more puffins here than there is people. North Sea there. This is a calm day as well. And there we go, the bottommost part of the Shetland Islands. Off in the distance, I don't know if you can kind of make it out over there. You can see a runway, that's Sunborough Airport, that's Shetland sort of main airport. And this here is a bone from an adult sperm whale. So it was actually tangled up in some fishing nets here. A wee story about it here. You can see that it's that part there, it's part of the head. That's a flag of Shetland. People like that probably look at that and think, oh, that's a weird looking saltire, but no, Shetland has its own flag, so does Orkney. Orkney's one's a bit more colourful than the one up here. But we're just at Jarlshof now. I'm going to go and have a look at this. I've never actually been here before. It's an old Norse settlement. this is Jarlshof. It's a old Norse, well, village essentially. Here we're just at the tip of the mainland, at the bottom of the mainland here. Over 4,000 years old. It wasn't discovered until the late 1800s when there was a really bad storm here, and it sort of uncovered the ruins here, and then they started to piece together and found artifacts, etc. Like I said, it's over 4,000 years old. The stonework, I absolutely love it. It's amazing. You're right next to the elements there at the sea. The fact that the majority of this is still stood up after 4,000 years is incredible. Just the way it's all put together. So this part here, this is the Great Hall. This is what's called the Laird's House. It was in two parts. This would have been the main hall here. There would have been an upstairs to the house, and outside there, I'll show you in a minute, that was the barn, and there's a farm next to it. Pretty well intact still. That's out towards the farm there. That's the barn. This, guys, is called the wheelhouse. Gets its name because of the construction. You can see that the way that the walls have been built, it's like the spokes in an old wheel. People lived here. That's the height of it there. You'd have had your fire in the middle there. You're literally right next to the sea there, but you had good protection from the weather. It'd been warm here. You'd have hung your fish or your meat up to dry. Like I said, you'd land outside for animals, for grazing, or for growing vegetables or barley. So when the Vikings came here, they came here around about the year 850 AD. Nobody really knows how the interaction between them and the people that already lived here, the natives, went. There's no sort of evidence that exists to say that whether they got on, or whether the Vikings kind of kept themselves to themselves, or whether they fought each other. So kind of left to your own imagination what would have happened back then. So this is the outside of the wheelhouse. We've just been there. This is the settlements and the farmland and farm buildings. See a helicopter off in the distance there. That's Sunbury Airport. Fun fact, you actually cross the runway, or the runway crosses the main road here, and when there's a helicopter or a plane landing or taking off, they actually close it off. The only other place that I can think of, that I know of anyway, that has that is Gibraltar. And this, guys, is Leavenwick Beach. Absolutely beautiful. Golden sands. Nice clear water. You wouldn't think it, but there are a lot of nice beaches in the Shetland Islands. A lot of them. Sailing boat out there, a wee fish farm. I'm not going to go for a dip. It might be the end of June, but it'll be absolutely fun. We'll take in there. So, yeah, not today. We're off on a wee adventure. There's something I want to show you guys. That I was having a wee look on Google Maps actually, and it's something that I saw. I thought that looks interesting, so I'm going to go and try and hunt it down. I can't take the car anywhere near it, so I've parked the car back there at the Ness boating club. So we'll just take a wee walk along. It should take about half an hour to get there. So this is the remains of a broch. So a broch is a Scottish, it's a circular house, double skinned walls, you can sort of see that there. No windies, they were sturdy, they had a thatched roof, they would have had a couple of floors in them. They were quite tall, so the tallest ones were about 10 metres tall. Get quite a lot of them up in the Shetland Islands, in Orkney as well. This one, as you can see, it's been eroded by the sea over the thousands of years it's been here. Came to the side here. It's a bird nesting happens here in the summertime, so one of the locals said, don't, there's a plane leaving, you probably didn't even hear me, said just keep tight to the wall. If you go too far out into the field there, they'll dive bomb you and they'll take my bonnet. So I'm just sticking to the side here till we get to where we're going. Well, covered in sheep shite when I get there. Don't mind me, boys. I'm walking through their front garden. Just walking along the coast here. Not too far from where we want to be going. I'll show you guys what my wee walk here's been all about. Right, we're here and it's an epic fail. It's not what it's meant to be. So the name that the locals are giving it is the Vricky red pool. It's right there. As you can see, it's not red. It's green. So it gets its name because it actually does turn red. It turns like maroon, sort of dark red colour, almost like blood. And it does that because all the sea algae decomposes. And it decomposes, you can see it sitting there. It decomposes and it turns that pool there red. Apparently you can smell it before you see it. Or not see it in my case. So I don't know if I've came here at the wrong time of year. I looked at, people have said that they've been here, they said August, July, August, were a little bit early. But yeah, oh well, at least I got a wee wee sort of coastal walk. Scenery's fantastic here, absolutely world class. That's as far as we're going. Time to go head back to the car and go and get some lunch. Be refreshed, and well, I'll just let the camera do the talking here. Look at that. So that over in the background, and that's St Ninian's Island. That's the beach that connects the two of them. A beach that connects two islands has actually got a name. It's called a tombolo. Not a tombola, a tombolo. This is probably one of, if not the most famous one in Scotland. It's a relatively calm day today, so you can and we will walk over and have a wee look over the other side, but in bad weather and the way when the tide and that comes, you can see where the tide comes in, it'll come in and you can't walk over, so you need to watch if you're going over for a walk, you need to watch so you get back before the tide comes in if it's a bad day, or you're trapped. Just crossing over the beach here. Absolutely spectacular. Baltic though, it's not a day for sunbathing. I think you only get about 2 or 3 hot days a year here. But remember, that's the Atlantic Ocean out there. If you were to get on a boat, go that way, the only first place you'd hit would be the Faroe Islands, then Iceland, then the coast of North America and Canada. When you look at it on a map, you don't kind of realise, but Shetland's actually got a higher latitude north than Moscow. Certainly feels like it today. It is absolutely freezing. Weather is starting to close in a little bit. Take a wee walk over. We'll head back and carry on our wee tour. So that's me just at I chanced the weather. Thought I'd come up and give you a better view of the beach or Tombolo. Over to it's not a big island, I mean there's the other side of it over there. A bit like Tobermory with the wee colourful hoosies. I had to run back and get the car there. It was starting to rain and I never had a jacket with me and the car was parked miles away, so I ran back to get the car. But the last thing we looked at there, which I've came down to sit next to while I explain it, is the Shetland Bus Memorial. So what's a Shetland bus? I'll give you a sort of a brief overview what it is. It's quite a good story. It's from the Second World War. 1940, Germany, they unexpectedly invaded Norway, and they basically ran over the country. Norway was overwhelmed. The King of Norway at the time sent out an SOS for any help they could get. People of Shetland sent over fishing vessels, and to start with they just brought over refugees, brought them over, took them in. They were trying to get them to go to other parts of Britain as well, to England. Some people went to the Faroe Islands and Iceland, but the majority of them actually came to Shetland, and they actually landed here in Scalloway or in Lerwick. That's why it gets the nickname the Shetland Bus. But as time went on, they started to realise that, well, the powers that be realised that they could use this to their advantage, so they started to send the boats back with soldiers, with special forces, with military aid to help the Norwegian resistance. And this went on throughout the war. And it's a story, not a lot of people know this story, but it did actually help. It helped. Even Hitler he always thought in the back of his mind when this was happening that the Allies were actually going to launch an invasion in Norway. So he kept a lot of his troops in Norway as a result of this, some people would say, meaningless token gesture of just sending over fishing boats. Eventually they kind of upgraded the boats. They got some submarine destroyers off the Americans. A lot of people died, and a lot of the boats were sunk by the Germans. They only did the crossings in bad weather to try and sort of hide what they were doing. They wouldn't do it in good weather, calm seas, etc. Because they did it when the weather was bad, so that the German Navy wouldn't be out in it. So very, very brave men. There are memorials there. There's names, and a lot of the names there are Norwegians. There's actually a memorial in Bergen, Norway. There's actually a museum dedicated to it, because that's where the bus kind of, majority of the time, that's where it went to in Norway. So if you're ever over there, I'd recommend checking it out. I've actually been there, and it's fascinating. It was really, really good to learn about it. Right, no voiceovers in these clips today. I'm going to do it in the car because it's too windy, and I never brought the microphone. The wee microphone that can sit there, it would probably just blow away. So we're up at Mavis Find now, the coastline there. I've already been up to Esterness, so the next clips that you'll see will be there. Spectacular scenery as always, but You can see the weather up here. This is proper wild. I mean, this is a relatively calm day. But yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll stick them in, let you see them. I'll not put any music over it. I'll just let you hear the wind, because I got a row off YouTube for doing that with the Bosnia one. Heading back now towards Lerwick, and we'll pick up from there.